Hi guys, Max here, and today is going to be a pretty quick video, I'm afraid, just very briefly recapping what happened yesterday in the markets and touching on just a couple other things because I'm a little bit strapped for time today. So what exactly happened? Well, stocks had a strong day. They moved upwards for the most part, as you can see. The only sectors that didn't perform well specifically were financials, and even then, most of them moved up slightly. It was just all a bit overshadowed by the JP Morgan poor earnings report that came out, and so that stock fell by quite a lot. Other than that, it was mostly green across the board though. Tech was strong in particular, so we saw the Nasdaq rise by about 2% for the day, while the rest of the S&P 500 rose by about 1.1%, a strong day nonetheless. Bond yields actually fell slightly, so prices rose, another strong day there. But again, yields are still very high, far higher than they have been for years at this point. The 10-year Treasury yield in the US only fell by 2 basis points, and we saw the same decline for the German 10-year yield, and Britain's 10-year yield didn't move at all. Right now, the 10-year Treasury yields in the US are sitting at about 2.7%. Now, a quick example of the absolute havoc that this increase in debt servicing costs is going to cause can be seen with average mortgage rates across the US, which have been rising rapidly recently, and which recently just rose above 5%. That basically represents a doubling in the costs of owning a home over the course of about 6 months. The impacts that this will have on the housing market and other asset classes as well absolutely cannot be ignored, and it all comes down to the fact that the monetary environment is being tightened, and that's not going to stop. Oil prices rose once more, which is not nice to see. WTI crude oil is sitting at about $104 a barrel, and Brent crude is sitting at about $107 a barrel. So thoughts of $80 a barrel, which isn't even that low, let's remember, that's all looking a fair bit distant right now. High energy prices really are just here to stay, I'm afraid. Gold prices continue to rise slightly, up another 0.2% from yesterday, so they're now sitting at $1,980 an ounce. I feel we will be hitting $2,000 before most people realize once again. Finally, in the world of crypto, what happened? Well, there was some slight bullishness with Bitcoin rising 3% and Ethereum rising by about 2%. Now they're each sitting at about $41,000 and $3,100 each. The altcoin market moved in that same direction, but with a little bit more volatility, as you would expect, with most coins going up something like 4 or 5% for the day. Now, there wasn't really a particular reason, trigger, or cause for this increase across the board. It's just one more example of crypto being a closely correlated risk-on asset that follows the moves of other risk-on assets. So that is what actually happened, but why did it happen? Well, markets seem to have moved up for the most part because investors believe that inflation may have just peaked in the US. Frankly, I'm sure you all know my views on this, but I think that idea is very irrational and dangerous, and the people pushing forward this idea are the Cathie Woods, who have been wrong about inflation at every possible opportunity over the last year, so I don't know why anyone would take them seriously now, but some people are. Now, as I said, this video is going to have to be short purely because I just don't have much time today. I'm sorry about that, I'm busy. But I do have to mention two things before we sign off. The first is that one of Russia's third largest class of warship, the Moscow, was just sunk by Ukrainian forces in the Black Sea, and it was also the flagship of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. Now, this is a total humiliation of the Russian Navy. Putin will be absolutely furious. There could be as many as 500 Russian sailors dead, so we should expect an escalation from Russia in response to this to try and reclaim the narrative and distract attention away from this failure. There will be more rockets fired at Ukraine. Maybe the reinvigorated Russian forces in eastern Ukraine will launch an attack soon. Something like that is probably going to come, and markets won't like it, so do watch out for that over the next day or so. The second thing that's going to be worth talking about right now is that Elon Musk made a formal offer to buy up every single share of Twitter for $54.20, which includes Elon's favorite number in there, 420, and Twitter shares have shot up pre-market on this news, as you might expect. I will make a full-length video about this within a day or so, I just don't have the time today. I do just quickly want to point out though that to anyone looking to buy Twitter at less than $54 a share right now, hoping to sell it to Elon later for $54.20, this is not a risk-free play. If Elon's offer is rejected, for example, he said he will have to reconsider his ownership stake in the company, which basically means he might sell out, and I guarantee that if he did that, the share price of Twitter will absolutely tank. So if you are going to buy Twitter shares on this news, please be careful and be aware of the potential downside here. There is no such thing as a risk-free investment. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to bless the YouTube algorithm. If you want more content like this, then check out our Patreon and join our community of investors. You get access to our Discord, loads of exclusive content like insight into my portfolio and buy and sell alerts for all my own investments. There's a link in the description to masterworks.io, a site that allows you to buy fractional shares of art from world famous artists like Banksy, which can be a great way to diversify your portfolio with more market correlated assets. It's completely free to sign up, so if that sounds interesting, then make sure to check it out. There's also a link down below in the description to BlockFi, which will give you up to $250 in free Bitcoin when you use it. You can also get 9% interest on stablecoins like USDC, which is a far higher rate than you get from any savings account these days. Thank you all for watching. Stay stoic. Until next time.